First up in the level update this month, I'm going to take the first topic. And it is about that weird thing that happened very early this month where Xbox Live suddenly doubled in price, essentially. Essentially, if you were buying a year of Xbox Live, it doubled in price. So their original post was, going forward, new pricing for 1 month of Xbox Live will be $10.99, 3 months for $29.99, and 6 months for $59.99, or your local market equivalent. You might notice that there's no 1 year option. They just cut out the 1 year option. You could only get 6 months for $60. So if you wanted to get a year, you were spending $120 a year at this moment in time to get Xbox Live. There was a lot of other things surrounding that as well. If you already had things stacked up and whatnot, you could get out of it, or maybe you are somebody that shops for deals. That's kind of another topic, but the base here from Xbox was that they were essentially doubling Xbox Live price. Now here's their reasoning. I'm going to give you a quote here. Periodically, we assess the value and pricing of our services to reflect changes in regional marketplaces and to continue to invest in the Xbox community. We'll be making price adjustments for Xbox Live Gold in select markets. In many markets, the price of Xbox Live Gold has not changed for years, and in some markets, it hasn't changed for over 10 years. So essentially, it's time, is what they were saying. It's time to raise the price. But it didn't take very long for the internet to blow up and just absolutely crucify them over this. Specifically, I remember Jeff Grubb with VentureBeat put out an article talking about how, okay, so if you are on Xbox now and you want to play Fortnite, a game that does not go outside that free-to-play wall that they've created at this point in time, and still at this point in time, you have to pay for Xbox Live to get free-to-play titles, unlike PlayStation. So on Xbox, you are spending $120 a year to play Fortnite. On PlayStation, you're not spending anything to play Fortnite. You don't even have to get PS Plus to play Fortnite. That was the big deal here, was that at the least, if you're going to raise the price like this, you got to make some concessions, right? You got to be doing something to smooth this over, and they weren't doing that. Not even a day later, they retracted this. They completely reversed. They not even just quit the price increase. They talked about the free-to-play. So here's what they said. We messed up today, and you were right to let us know. Connecting and playing with friends is a vital part of gaming, and we failed to meet the expectations of players who count on it every day. As a result, we have decided not to change Xbox Live Gold pricing. We're turning this moment into an opportunity to bring Xbox Live more in line with how we see the player at the center of their experience. For free-to-play games, you will no longer need an Xbox Live Gold membership to play those games on Xbox. We are working hard to deliver this change as soon as possible in the coming months. It has not happened yet. If you are an Xbox Live Gold member already, you stay at your current price for renewal. New and existing members can continue to enjoy Xbox Live Gold for the same prices they pay today. And I'll stop there. So very quickly, a role reversal here, which brought up the question of did they not see this coming? What was the plan here? How did they not expect a doubling in Xbox Live price not to result in this type of backlash? And it almost made you wonder if they did expect that, and this was just sort of a testing of the grounds, because of course they have a service, a much better service in Game Pass, and increasing the price of Xbox Live would have made that service astronomically better than Xbox Live. You're spending $120 a year on Xbox Live for game, you could do $180 for the Game Pass Ultimate. That includes Xbox Live. So I'm going to start this conversation off by going to you guys and asking, was the point of this price increase originally to improve the perception of value on Game Pass?
No.
Tom,
No.
you don't think so?
It's not about improving the perception, I don't think. I think this was straight up a means of them testing the grounds to see if they could manage to increase their revenue that they can bring in from this service. Especially because when you look at it, I mean, this is a company that's spent $1 billion on trying to acquire other studios. I mean, we're talking like Bethesda and all the other acquisitions.
$7 billion on Bethesda, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, they swung for the fences here. They were like, look, we're going to get some backlash, but most people, they'll just be like, you know what, it sucks, but you know what, we're still going to do it because we got to get our fix. But the amount of negative backlash this got, especially when you consider that their main competition, I don't think they're going to move PlayStation, is ever going to move from the idea of if you have a free-to-play game, you don't need to have PS Plus to play that.
Right. You can't
So,
now at this point. It'd be really difficult for them to
you really
have that
and you
happen,
definitely can't now. But at the time, I mean, even Sony would have had to have looked at that. And
So
just
do
been
you
like,
think that
no.
it's because they're bleeding a little bit from Game Pass, how much they're putting into it, and waiting for the fruits of that labor? Or maybe it's not happening quite as quickly as they thought it would, so they needed to compensate for that with an increase in Xbox Live. That's your theory?
I think 100% they are operating Game Pass on a loss.
I agree.
I 100% believe that. I think this was a means of revenue generation that they can go to their shareholders at their next earnings meeting and be able to say, "Hey guys, look what we did. We managed to double our revenues from Xbox Gold. Isn't that great?"
Yeah, maybe.
So,
but what's
look,
weird?
Microsoft's stock price has been taking a hit lately. That would have definitely have been a huge win for them and something that they could have gone to their shareholders and been able to like hold that up on a pedestal and say, "Look at this that we just did."
But what's really weird, yeah. Vince, in the months leading up to this moment, all of the rumors and speculation was Xbox Live is going free. They're getting rid of it, and it's just going to be free to everybody. How did we go from those rumors, from pretty well-known insiders, oh yeah, it's going away, everybody agreed, it's going away, they're getting rid of Live, it's going to be free. How do we go from that to doubling Live?
I don't know. I honestly...
That, I think, is what makes this weird. Weirder than anything else. It makes me think that Phil Spencer wanted Xbox Live to be free.
Yep.
He wanted it. And he couldn't make it happen.
He can't make it happen.
He couldn't make it happen because, as Tom was getting to, I think Game Pass, as great as it is, and the trajectory is solid, there's a future for that program, of course. Maybe it's not quite going as fast as they needed to, considering they're putting out $7 billion for Bethesda and doing this and that. They needed this to maybe happen even faster than it is. And it's happening fast. Don't get me wrong. Game Pass is being adopted incredibly fast. And even still, it might not be enough for Xbox.
Well, I don't think it's going to be enough.
Accrue what they need.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you here, but
no, go ahead.
I don't think it's going to be enough, because the thing is too, like, yes, they just bought Bethesda, yes. They're also partnering with almost any third party that they can get for it, Sega, Square Enix, anything like that, to put these games on there. Like, just to me, like, the money doesn't make sense at what they're trying to do right now. Like, I just don't. I foresee what this is going to lead to now, considering Xbox Live Gold could not increase in price. We will, by the end of this year, we will see around a $5 price increase, I think, on Game Pass base. Is what's going to happen.
That, I think, is something we need to talk about. Mike, they retracted this. They reversed course. Doesn't that mean that they have to have a plan B here? Like, they were doing this because, as Tom said, as we're speculating, they needed to get their revenue up. They needed to show that to their shareholders, considering how much they're putting out right now for Bethesda and trying to bolster Game Pass. So considering this was a failure, what is plan B? Is it raising the price of Game Pass? How is that going to be received?
I think I'm personally of the camp that this was a 50-50 shot of either this is going to go fine or this is going to blow up in our face. And it blew up in their face, which is why they were able to retract on that so quickly and have everything, I mean, when was the last time you saw a company, especially one like Microsoft, retract something like this so quickly? Yes, it got a lot of bad press, but that doesn't mean anything. They've dealt with bad press for long periods of time. It's almost like this was calculated and like, this is a good option. So I think this is, in my opinion, more of a let's test the waters and see what people are going to react the worst to. And the react the worst to was the free-to-play stuff and the just dramatic price increase. So I think what you're going to see is then come back and say, hey, listen, we get it. Going to $60 for half a year, $120 a year is unreasonable. But we do have all these services that we need to start charging for. So we want to consolidate and make it easy for you guys. So we are either going to see them not consolidate the services in the way that we thought they were and not have this just one unified, grouping, and start kind of a la carte piecemeal again, or we're going to see them go from, instead of $60 for the year, it's going to be $80 for the year, or $15.
Yeah, that's
a
kind of
month.
what I want to close off this topic with. I agree with you. This is the fastest turnaround I think I've ever seen on something like this. It literally happened within, I want to say 12 hours, maybe
Oh,
maybe
yeah,
maybe
it
15.
was a fast rollback.
And their reversal of it happened at 3 a.m. in the morning.
Yep.
That's weird. Like they wouldn't even wait until the next day. They were like, no, we're doing this at 3 a.m. in the morning. We're putting this freaking tweet out. Really bizarre. So yeah, maybe they were testing the waters. Maybe it happened, the rejection, quicker than they expected. But I posted a poll in the chat. What will Xbox do with live and online services moving forward? Mike seems to think that they raise it, just not quite as much. Do we think that Xbox Live going completely free is off the table now? Will this never happen?
I do, at least not until there's a replacement, a revenue stream for it, like Halo Infinite multiplayer microtransactions.
Yeah.
There has to be other stuff like that first to replace it.
What about you, Tom? What do you think?
I don't. I think eventually they're going to try to raise the price. It seems like they're stuck on keeping Xbox Live. All the rumors I think you can throw out now that they were going to just completely move to Game Pass.
Yeah.
I think there's a part of their business model that still relies on them keeping these subscriptions. I think they're going to keep them, and I would say wait another year and see maybe if they try to bump it up like an extra $5 to $10.
Yeah. I think I'm kind of a hybrid of Mike and maybe you, Tom, here, where I think that they increase the price, but they try to frame it as giving more. Because I think that they do get rid of Xbox
always.
Live, but the reason they get rid of Xbox Live is because, hey guys, we have a new tier of Game Pass. This is Game Pass Silver, whatever, I don't care. And it's $80 or it's $100, but on top of getting online play, you get this many games of our collection. You get 50 games of the 600 that are on Game Pass. I don't know. I'm just speculating and spitballing here, but maybe they try and come up with a tier of Game Pass that is lower, but includes that online play and allows them to keep around Xbox Live through that. I could see that potentially happening because I don't think, considering the rejection that happened here and that they were even willing to try it, I don't think that free online is in the cards anymore, or even on the table for them. I think that Phil Spencer went for it and did not get it. Satya Nadella, I'm not sure if I'm saying his name right. I think he shot him down and said, no, we can't do this. Considering how much we're putting out right now and how we're trying to bolster up Game Pass, it just doesn't work for us.